Hi, everyone. Happy Monday morning. It is Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. I am back for another edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where every Monday morning we talk about what's hot and what's going on with U.S. immigration. So I like to dive right on in. So, the first thing I want to talk about that will be a theme this morning, because it was a theme of USCIS this past week, is gaps in employment and what is happening to help stop those gaps in employment. And so we are all very clear these gaps in employment are harming not only the individual employees, but also their employers. So the first thing that we are seeing, or that we have seen, is the automatic extension of work authorization for individuals that have timely filed their employment authorization document renewal applications. We were seeing an automatic extension of 180 days. That 180 days has now been extended to 540 days. I talked about this last Monday, but it bears repeating because it is so important, and it really is going to help many, many employers and employees out there have continuity in their workforce. So keep in mind your EADs, if they are timely filed, they are now going to be your work authorization will be automatically extended for 540 days. That said, this is a temporary measure. This is not going to be forever and ongoing. The Immigration Service is doing this just so that they can get through their current backlog, which, as you know, because I have been talking with you about this every Monday morning, the current processing times for EADs is about 10 to 12 months. So this 540 days is certainly a welcome change for individuals that have followed the rules, timely filed their extension applications, and some of which who had to be taken off of payroll. So that is great news. We're also looking at some improvements for work authorization for the dependents of E and L visa holders. Those dependents have work authorization automatically. We call that incident to status, but it means automatically once they are granted E dependent or L dependent status, then they are provided with work authorization, or they are allowed work authorization. We first had issues getting stamps showing that they actually, were E2s and L2s and they had work authorization. Now we've been seeing problems with the Social Security Administration acknowledging that those individuals are indeed work authorized. So we should be seeing some guidance, some formal guidance put out by the Social Security Administration soon, so that they can advise people that in fact these dependents of E's and L's are eligible to work and are thus eligible to get a Social Security card. So we are plugging along with that, my friends. The other thing that we are seeing respective to E and L dependents that will help them are their approval notices will now indicate that these individuals in this dependent status have work authorization. So hopefully that will help this entire immigration ecosystem from DHS to CBP to Social Security to Department of Labor, so that everybody is now aware that these individuals, based on being dependent E and L status holders, have work authorization. So it's been a little bit of slow going for these folks to actually take advantage of being able to work and having the right documents to show their prospective employers that they actually do have work authorization in the US. But I think we are getting this wrapped up and sort of buttoning up all of those issues that we've been seeing with people. The next thing I want to talk about is DHS created a fake university back in 2013 That's right. I said DHS created a fake university back in 2013, and it was called the University of Northern New Jersey. It was supposed to be, or it was marketed to be, a for profit university. There were brokers. There were brokers who reached out to unsuspecting students. There were individuals who were working at the university and they were posing as foreign student advisors and as officials at the university. And so individuals who were overseas who were looking to come to the US and start their education or continue their education at a US university, who found University of Northern New Jersey and later enrolled and followed the instructions that were provided to them by who they thought were employees of Northern University of Northern New Jersey. Those individuals were then they were put in a very precarious and sometimes very bad position. They were accused of knowingly enrolling in a false university. They were accused of filing fraudulent applications, and so many of these students were harmed when it came to their immigration status. So um, lawsuit happened. We know that a lawsuit was going to happen once we found out about this. So a lawsuit happened, and we are now looking at the district court has granted final approval of the class action settlement between the individuals that were harmed and the Department of Homeland Security that started this fake university in order to weed out fraud in the student visa population. So individuals that were caught up in this fraudulent university created by DHS back in 2013 are now essentially, without going into all the nitty-gritty of the final settlement agreement, they are now essentially not going to be held responsible for what happened to them at the hands of DHS with this fake university. So if you think that you were a part of that as a student, there is relief out there for you. If you were taken advantage of by the University of Northern New Jersey, which again was a fake university set up by DHS back in 2013. So if you think that is you, you do have a remedy forthcoming. That we have seen that through litigation. The last thing I wanted to talk about today, this morning, are case processing times. So everybody has that question: how long will it take? Why is it taking so long? How do I find out? Where my application is in line in the system, what's going on. So USCIS has heard that. They seem to understand that, and they are working on improving how they communicate processing times to the public. So we should be seeing some new processing time data on their website that we can use in real time to figure out what's happening with a certain application type out of a certain office, out of a certain processing office across the country. So I, for one, am looking forward to that. I think what we have now has been super helpful. But if we can get any more clarity, more transparency, more precise timelines, I think that's always going to be a great thing. It is great for people that are trying to plan their lives and plan their employees' lives. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. So that is all I have for everyone this morning. If you have any questions about U.S. immigration, if you have any questions about hiring someone that's not a U.S. citizen, feel free to give my office a call at 954-903-1337. We are more than happy to have a conversation with you. And again, I am Carol Williams with Beyond the Soundbite. Enjoy your Monday and have a great rest of your week.